赛呢第3场精彩的赛事哦。那截至目前为止呢，前2场比赛呢都是由我们韩国队伍呢拿下比赛胜利。今天呢，究竟呢我们ELONG旅行的我们 Horsemen 呢，谁能够率先的拿下第1场胜场呢？就来看看呢接下来这场精彩赛事。首先呢，要为大家介绍的是我们代表呢红方的，欢迎呢是我们 Horsemen。
Excuse me, wow, this microphone hates me. It's been doing this to me all day. Thank you to our stage host Jerry for introducing Horsemen.
Woo! These guys have everything to win, and literally everything to lose.
接着呢，要为大家介绍呢，在上一场比赛的表现呢，也是相当优异。欢迎呢，来自中国的ELONG。
That is true. And now here we go, ELONG, the APAC non-Korean superstars.
But they just lost, and add insult to injury, one of their players was caught not wearing their white noise
because he
headphones.
Is the boss.
Sorry?
He's the boss. The son of the boss. ELONG company.
Okay.
The travel ELONG is a travel agency, and the guy is the son of the boss.
The guy with a little bit of gray hair, if you will.
Okay, so the what happened was ELONG during the 6th battle from last match, one of their players removed the white noise headphones, and for that infraction, they received a yellow card, which means if they do something like that again, they will be removed from the tournament and probably the WGL. So they've got to be careful not to do it. I don't know if it was by accident or deliberate. I'm not going to speculate. That's just the facts. Someone removed their white noise headphones. They did get the yellow card. They lost the match anyway, so it didn't change the result. But let's forget about that. Let's assume it was by accident and move on. So we have Horsemen versus ELONG. What's the bans?
Okay, I think last time ELONG still got a better personal skill. They still got better strategy, and they still got a better reaction compared to the Horsemen. So on this time, I still better than ELONG. Also last time, I didn't win that one, but
All right, so come on. You did really good the last 2 games. You've basically got them on point. What do you think, Breaker?
I really think that we could see anywhere in the range from 5-2 to 5-3 in this particular matchup, because that's what we saw the last time we saw ELONG playing against.
But quickly, throw down the bans. They're the first thing we're going to see, so throw them down.
I think Cliffs is definitely going to come out from Horsemen unless they've been doing nothing but practicing on that map 24/7.
Well, Muravanka's the first one to go down. Horsemen get rid of that. Again, an open map. They just don't want to play these things. They want to play on the closed-off ones.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to throw out there real quick. Conversely, they have the one time that we saw them performing exceedingly well versus ELONG was actually on the map, Prokhorovka. They took 3 rounds off of that map, if not at least 2. I remember they performed really well, yes.
Well, but Prokhorovka is the one that's totally changed, so they might get rid of it nonetheless. Or they might know that ELONG won't be so strong in it and will remove steps instead. Maybe they'll get rid of Roomba. They didn't do so well against Arete. They might not want ELONG to know exactly what they're doing, but looking on the face of ELONG, they're not concerned. I feel like they feel very comfortable here. Obviously, their first ban was Himmelsdorf. I think anyone could have guessed that, so yeah.
Yeah, but these 2 teams, they're gonna fight again tomorrow, so maybe someone like practice tonight, and we're gonna see the really fight on the tomorrow's first match.
All right, just going to do a mic test. Can you guys hear me? Just write banana if you can hear me in the chat, because I just see that people didn't understand my explanation of the what happened to ELONG. I'll repeat myself once I see enough bananas. If there's not enough bananas, we'll go and check and make sure. In fact, if I see a banana, you definitely can hear me. Otherwise, something's wrong. So I'll check my cables in the meantime. Yeah, I think everything's working. I can hear myself fine.
Yeah,
I guess you guys can as well. I see no problems here. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. ELONG, on the 6th battle of last map, one of their players was caught removing their white noise headphones. The white noise headphones, for those who don't know, are the devices that prevent them from hearing commentators and other players. So removing that gives you a distinct advantage because you can hear it. However, we are going to assume that ELONG did it by accident, and it's just a yellow card because they broke the rule. They're not going to cheat in this match, but if they do get caught again doing any sort of cheat, they will be removed from the WGL completely. Anyway, Breaker.
I just wanted to point out... God, this microphone hates me. I'm sorry, I just wanted to point out real quick that they are actually going to go with Prokhorovka, the map that I mentioned they performed best against ELONG on previously. And I'm wondering what the strategy is going to be this time around. As you said, it's changed completely. And steps, of course, that's the bread and butter map. These are actually the 2 most common maps we saw played in the first 3 weeks of Gold Series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edison?
And I really curious about one thing, like ELONG, do they really realize how strong the T-54 right now? They still use the old strategy. They seems like they refuse to use the T-54.
But on Prokhorovka, because of the way that things have changed, it's still a weak tank for the map.
Yep.
A lot of people aren't using it because the teams that have been using it, it's not been so successful. But it depends on what you're going for. It depends on how aggressive you want to be. If you want to go for the middle and just do an absolute brawl or something different. But remember, the map has totally changed.
There is some confusion in chat right now. Some people are typing out what cheat, and we're just gonna try and make this as dictionary, as textbook possible to perceive for you guys. First and foremost, these players are wearing white noise headphones inside their booth. They're not the booths themselves are not completely soundproof, but at the same time, if a player is spotted removing a white noise headphone for any reason, it is designated as an attempt to cheat. And if it is done while a game is in progress, then this can potentially disqualify an entire team just because one player does it.
Actually, if they had won the series, there's a good chance the result would have been changed to Arete's favor. Luckily for us, it makes it nice and simple that Arete won anyway. As we want to repeat here, we don't know if it was an accident, like it was irritating the guy and he just threw him off, or something like, or he stepped on the cable and it fell off and he had to keep playing. We don't know. We're going to assume the best, but rules are rules. They had to get a yellow card, which means if they do it again, someone else is caught doing any infraction, they can be removed from the WGL. Now, that's that. Let's not focus on it anymore. I hope everyone understood it. Otherwise, go to my Twitter, DorjanR, and it's written there. Okay? Simple as that. Let's move on. So in the red, we have Horsemen. In the blue, ELONG. First map is Prokhorovka. Edison, you know the changes that have taken place to Prokhorovka.
Yep.
Do you want to go through it again for the audience so that they understand?
Okay. On the northeast part, before the 9.6 version, they got a couple short hill there provide a nice cover for the sniper. But right now, eliminate, no stuff there.
Totally flat.
Yeah,
in
totally
the top
flat.
right-hand corner.
That means no sniper on that side.
Yeah.
That means another way, you can doing really nice rush from that side. Before the 9.6, if you rush from the east part and down the hill, you cannot die there because they can set like 2 sniper and sniping you and waiting for you coming. But this time, no, nothing here. So if the Horseman can take the advantage there, they use like something like a nice rush tank like T-54 light tank. Maybe they got a chance to win ELONG there because ELONG we didn't see them use almost barely use any T-54 there on that side.
So the east side has been completely opened up, guys. It's totally acceptable for the attackers to attack there now. They've removed the defender's advantage on the northeast. However, the west has totally changed too.
On the west part, they remove couple, not that great different, but the bush type and the road and somewhat they got couple short hill on that side. So if you want to rush the west part, it's become more dangerous. So if I guess someone want to rush, they're gonna test east, not west.
Yeah. And not only that, so the west side has been flattened, a few bushes have been removed, but the center railroad has been flattened as well. So now you can skirt up the side of the railroad and take some shots over. So no longer is the railroad a complete invincible shield for the teams. Breaker.
I just also wanted to remark real quick that the best performance we saw coming from Horsemen versus ELONG were, this is going to sound a little bit strange, but just rushing straight up the center of the map and taking them in that little gunfight. Because, well, I mean, at the time, the meta was a little bit different for ELONG. They love using AMX 1390s as opposed to just at that point newly released RU251s. That means as soon as they reach the center of the map, they're on reload for like maybe 10, 15 seconds sometimes. And at that point, basically, we can see that in the beginning, it really depends on how many autoloaders you have. But Horseman was abusing that situation, and that's what gave them the leg up in many of those games. So we'll see how they play things out this time around. It's going to be rush up the center. What's ELONG going to do?
Okay, let's talk about the voting now. Who do you think's got the advantage, ELONG or Horseman?
I think on a personal scale, absolutely ELONG. But today ELONG didn't choose too many T-54. You know, if they still use the RU-251, still use the M13 trying to counter the T-54, I think they're gonna lose this one.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I didn't see the tank lineup right now.
All right, so now it's U-Breaker. What do you reckon? Who's got this? What's the score?
Honestly, I think the end of Prokhorovka, I haven't tuned into the meta. I mean, we see different tank lineups coming up now since the last time we've seen professional competition here in APAC-ASIA. I feel as though it could be end score of 2-2. It could be end score of 3-1 either way.
Okay, so we think it's reasonably even chance to end in either team's advantage, but that's what we think. What do you guys think at home? Drop it in the chat. Are you a Horseman fan? Do you like the horse helmets and the unicorn? Or are you a fan of ELONG, the guys who just lost against Arete and a result of 5-3? Write your predicted results and who's going to win in the chat. We'd like to know your opinions. So, game is almost ready to go. We have Prokhorovka as the first map and Steps as the second. In fact, Steps has been played on every single match. It's a really popular
That
one.
is true. I mean, like, it's the bread and butter map, but this, like, for the longest time, I remember for the first 3 weeks, it was nothing but Prokhorovka and Steps.
Yeah, people love the map without defensive advantage. Something like a Hammerstone, Ringberg, your defender got really nice advantage there, so they choose someone cannot do anything like that.
Yeah. But we have 30 seconds left before this assault takes place, and it looks like ELONG are on the defensive.
Okay, ELONG choose one.
Banana. 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 Okay, that's that intro. It doesn't much for you guys, but we'll take you through Prokhorovka right now as it goes down. We do seem to have the Horsemen in the red on the defense, and ELONG are on the assault. It looks like the reverse of what I see. I'm really confused now.
It's confused.
Yeah,
what?
it's wrong.
Yeah.
It is wrong. ELONG were the defenders. I got it right the first time. Horsemen are meant to be in the red, but they're not. They're in the blue. Okay. So this is a mistake on our display. I hope this gets fixed.
Here we go. They are brushing sides with each other at this moment. No one's been spotted just yet according to what we have to read off of the minimap, but thus far...
There's been shots going out. We just can't see what's going on. ELONG are taking a ton of damage, and this looks like it's going really well for the Horsemen. Actually, no, the other way around. The thing is wrong. ELONG are doing a lot of damage, and Horsemen are getting destroyed, absolutely wrecked in the middle.
This is a spanking at the moment, although no one has been beaten to death. It looks like Spencer could be first, and no, I'm wrong. It's Colin who's first on the hit list.
This is incredibly confusing. Just try and reverse the colors there, guys, as the blue is actually the Horsemen and the red are ELONG. And it looks like that the spanking is definitely in favor of the ELONG.
For sure, for sure. Try and take it easy on us, guys. This isn't the first time this has ever happened in esports history that name labels have been wrong, but right now the exchange is 1-for-1, and this is looking like it's going, again, a little bit 1-for-1-ish, but we've always got ELONG one leg up in the red. Make no mistake, it's not Horseman that's winning this. We've got ELONG going in for the kill.
It looks like that way as it's down to just 2 tanks left for the Horsemen. They are in a massive disadvantage right here, and they are completely scattered. And that was an artillery shell there. We didn't actually get a chance to talk about the lineups, but there's a M44 on the field. He's the last guy standing right now, but that was an absolute disaster by the Horsemen.
Indeed it was. That, I mean, just seeing, the thing is when you throw an artillery out onto the map, what you're telling your opponents is, come at me, bro. And it looks like ELONG just came at them, bro, and
they won.
Yeah, only dropped 2 tanks.
Well, that was a victory for the blue-red team. It's not confusing at all. I'm sure you guys at home completely followed that last battle. Absolutely no confusion whatsoever.
Yes, as you say, they choose an SPG. That's something like calling your enemy. Come in, rush in.
Yeah, an SPG
really weird,
is always a risk. If you try and play aggressive with an SPG on the field, it's not gonna. You're gonna have a bad time because the enemy are gonna see it and just charge at you.
Yeah.
And unless the SPG gets a critical shot, the first shot, it's just not gonna. You're gonna have a bad time.
Gentlemen, I believe that was the fastest round ever played the entire day.
Yeah,
was it?
I think so. I think that, who was defending? I got really confused. It was ELONG defending, right?
Yeah, ELONG.
Okay, well, that doesn't matter how fast it is, because only the attacking speed counts. So it doesn't count for any record. Defending fast does not help you. So, right. Sorry about that, guys. It was I said the colors right to begin with, and then I saw the screen, and I got confused. And
Me too. Hopefully the production crew, I'm hoping someone on the Chinese side of things, the Chinese language stream actually highlighted this, and then the production crew heard, and then they're like, okay, we'll fix it now. That kind of thing. I'm hoping.
Hopefully you won't get confused too much, but we'll try and keep you informed. But anyway, let's move on from that. Horsemen destroyed, not even close. Are we going to see that again in the next battle, or they've got a chance?
Yeah, but as a ELONG choose 2 autoloader, actually they choose 4 autoloader, but they didn't tackle the first moment rushing, because when they meet the enemy, they have to know that you still on a reloading time, so they have to rush in. I don't know why they go to the lift and trying to shoot them on really bad position there, and they got a lot of sniping and didn't push out. That's it, and they got an SPG there. That means you got less firepower.
They should have held back. If they're going to use an SPG, they should sit back a little bit more and try and play with scouting and defense, because as soon as the enemy know you've got an SPG, which is as soon as the battle starts, they know that they have the advantage in a direct fight, and so they're going to bring the fight straight to you. Breaker, are you a fan of SPGs?
That's the thing. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You have to have a real plan with them going in from the start. And I feel like on Prokhorovka, when we're talking about this map, there's, how do I say this? And how do I say this? Like the mobility of the tanks that we saw coming from ELONG, I felt like, it wasn't that much of a grand help, if that makes sense in the end. In the end, Horsemen did lose the game. But coming back to it in a senseful sort of way, maybe they'll do better without it this time around. It looks like they loaded in with a 5916.
We will find out. That's ELONG. Yeah, the ELONG has got the AMX 1390, 2 RU 251s, 2 T54s, and 2 Bulldogs. They're going for a nice spread of tanks. But we will find out what is being loaded by their opposition as soon as we get into game. But we're into battle number 2 on map number 1 of this final match of today. ELONG versus the Horsemen. Right, here we go.
Okay. I think on this moment, for the Horsemen, they have to find out the enemy as soon as possible and rush in, because your enemy uses autoloader. If they cannot figure out this sense, they're going to lose again on this one.
Oh my God, this is going to be a head-to-head, a toe-to-toe. And here comes ELONG straight through the middle.
There it is, 240 off of none. He was the first blood. 258 off of one ELONG tank, 232 off of reflection, and now we've got the camera centered on Rex, who's now taking a beating 519, 619, and transitioning to Sky Camera.
And he's about to get wrecked. He got wrecked, and here we go. One tank advantage. No, they got equalized. ELONG and Horsemen are going toe-to-toe. Damage thrown everywhere. Second tank goes down for Horsemen. They're falling back a little bit. They just got to survive for a little bit longer. They might be able to pull it off, but it's 2 more of their tanks going quick succession. They're going to focus down Black. They managed that. They're just ahead, but the HP is a bit low.
Indeed, and ELONG still has that extra tier 6 tank. Where on earth is it? I'm sorry, tier 7.
It's right there under in the rear, but Colin's about to go down. That's the guy you got to watch. He's about to explode. No ammo rack. Just flat out wiped out. But they need to focus down. Is that reflection?
Indeed.
He needs to go down. But he survives with 1 HP again, and it's going to be full side going down. So that is it. Horsemen are down to their last tank. ELONG still at 2,000. It's going to be unlikely that he can do this. Again, a direct fire. Direct firefight did not go to the advantage of Horsemen. Instead, ELONG take it. What happened?
Okay, just a focus fire problem.
Focus fire problem.
Yeah, they rush in, they got better tank for close battle, but they still lose this one.
Yeah.
Yes. So, the only problem is for them is how to focus fire. I saw couple tank only one shot die, but no one focus on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're going to see the size swap. So Horsemen did what they did in the first game against Arete, just suicided in. Okay, it's like, we're just going to attack. And I guess it kind of was YOLO. You kind of hashtag YOLO, let's just go. Let's just drive forward. Just stick down the W key. I guess Arete stuck down all the W keys so that they just went forward and they can't stop.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're unstoppable unless, of course, you're Arete, because that in Korean, that spells S-T-O-P. I'm kidding. I'm sorry, that was maybe
that was a bad joke.
Yeah, it was.
For a second there, I had to think about it. I was like, S-T-O-P, really? No, wait, that was a bad joke.
Indeed. So, I mean, looking at this again, I feel like, you know, it's not over for Horsemen. We saw 2 very quick games. They rushed up the center. I feel, I don't know, it was a little bit lacking in some ways here in game number 2. Maybe they'll have better hope here in game number 3.
It was a banana rush, absolutely hashtag banana rush, because I don't know. It's my nickname for this sort of play, where a team just goes in and goes full banana against their opponents and dies. That's it. GG.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes if you want to kill some enemy, you have to focus on some specific, like on the first moment. On that moment, they should kill the M13 first.
Yeah.
Don't let him, you know, reload. And I feel they didn't let M13 die first. So they trying to kill like T54 kill the RU251.
Yeah.
But you know, when you counter the T54, you didn't get any advantage about that. And RU251, yes, that's okay. But you know, you let the 2 M13 reload it and you know, start to fire, you got a big problem now.
Yeah, they had to deal with the damage early. The Bulldogs actually put out a fair bit of damage if you let them survive. They're easy to kill. If you just look at them, they die. So 3 shots from any of the tanks would have taken them out. But they survived for quite a while. In fact, I think one survived to the end. It just went badly for them. Shooting like that is not done them so well. But I see the next battle is actually starting. What's your last point?
What I wanted to highlight is now that here in game number 3, we see something I don't think we've seen previously. 5 T-54s are coming out on the map.
To say that. We're starting the next battle
with
with 5 T-54s. They are going full hashtag YOLO. I want to see if it's another hashtag banana rush and hashtag too many hashtags. So we have got a banana rush by Horsemen, maybe, even though they're defending. What do you think for this, Edison?
Because on that match they already got a better tank. If they rush it again, you know, they didn't use the adventure about the torrent. You know, they're gonna get the same problem again. But this time they have a heavy tank.
Yeah, where do you think their positions are going to be? Draw their positions for us.
I think the T-32 cannot reach here. You know, become as a shell, and they're gonna set some sniper somewhere on the side.
And what are those T-54s doing? I mean, they're so far ahead of the T-32. If they had just met ELONG, they would have died.
Yeah, but they don't rush. They can just sit near this area and see someone. They can pull back and show about torrent, trying to take more damage to the ELONG side.
All right. Well, we have ELONG going the long way around.
Definitely, and that is going to result in perhaps a huge nick in the rear. I feel like the T-32 is definitely going to be abused here just a little bit because of its lack of mobility, and that's going to force the T-54s to go to the forward position, which means they're exposed. The T-32 isn't doing any tanking and delivering very little maximum payload damage.
Yep.
Especially given the camouflage position that Horseman is in right now. I mean, just, how do I say this? Not camouflage, but uphill-ish position. The cover. Yeah, there we go.
In a dug-in position. Well, the Horsemen are in the center. I think a bit confused. They didn't expect this. They're taking quite a few snipe shots. Here comes the Bulldog damage against their top player. Down to a third bit. Oh, big damage coming out to Spencer.
Yeah, he's the shot caller on the team as well. He's also the scout in this situation. It looks like he was the scout, moreover, who taught me to speak English. There it is. YOLO rush for the rest of the team. Is this going to pan out or not?
For which team? It's a bit
Horsemen.
Bit of a mess here. It's Horsemen go in, but they're getting focused now. This is a silly
Peluso just got track shotted.
He just got track shotted and then taken out. To be honest, even if he wasn't tracked, he would have gone down. And this is a slaughterhouse, but they did manage to focus down Reflection. That's good focus fire, but they're losing a lot of HP. At what cost was that?
That may have just cost them the game. more or less. Not just that one single move, but I mean everything it took to get Reflection out of the game. As we can see now, we have Horsemen being picked off one by one, and it looks like this could very much. This is 90% certain, guaranteed. ELONG's game number 3.
Well, let's still play it out to the end, but it's hard to keep the hype up when you're seeing this slaughterhouse by Horsemen again. I think they're keeping the dream alive. Oh, if they could have killed ELONG's nice, that they might have been able to do something, but here comes the slaughter. Here comes the surround again. Is this a horse sandwich in the rear?
And that is indeed a horse sandwich, and on it is 2 layers of bread by the name of Fox TS and Nightmare.
Double horse sandwich. We've had so many horse burgers today. I feel that we're getting stuffed. Yeah. Edison, you're crying, my friend. Oh, what's happening here?
Okay, no, they got T-32, right? A slow tank on the back. They give up that. They just rush in. That means you only have 6 tanks trying to fight into the 7 tanks.
One was dead.
Yeah.
So it was 5 versus 7.
Okay.
I don't understand. Why didn't they just try to get on the other side of the tracks and wait it out?
They were defending, but they're, YOLO, hashtag banana rush, hashtag too many hashtags, but, I don't know how to explain it. Horsemen seem incredibly weak. They did say in that interview that it wasn't luck that they got here, but I'm not seeing the reason they got here. They do seem like a league below the other players. Like, what's the story? Tell me their story. How did they get here? Why are they playing so badly today? Is it just a bad day? Are they normally better than this? Or is it like they just didn't do the preparation
something
work?
like they're trying to something different.
They're trying too hard.
Yeah, but there is some basic rule. You want to rush, get Valiant advantage, got your hit point advantage, got your DPN advantage. But they didn't get anything, just rush out,
Yeah. Okay, so we've had too many banana rushes. I'm full up of bananas and I'm full up of horse burgers. So no more no more horse burgers, no more horse sandwiches. No, yeah. We're gonna have grilled horse next. We're gonna get someone set alight. We're gonna have grilled horse on the Barbie soon. Shout out to Mitch. But really, it's a painful situation. I don't know what to make of this because Horsemen seem to be completely outclassed.
In the chat, we see people saying hashtag horseplay.
Come on.
No.
Come on. No more puns.
Yeah, but on the current situation, they are play much worse than their regular season when they against to ELONG.
Yeah.
When the regular season they against to ELONG, they're almost like one tank different, couple hundred hit point different. But right now they just rush out. It's so poor here.
All right, ELONG are destroying the Horsemen. Like, Horsemen got 1 battle in the first map against Arete. So can they do that again? So that's the big question really right now. Is it going to be a 4-0, the first 4-0 so far today, or will they get 1? We're going to find out soon, but they're going to have to change the tactics. I think this YOLO rushing is just too weak.
Do you think it could be that they're nervous? I mean, we actually do have a lot of showgirls here, and I mean, we're talking about a lot.
Looking over your shoulder, my friend. There's
Indeed, they're looking at me. I'm kidding.
There they are.
Yeah. But
that's our feed.
We're right above them. We're right above them.
Right.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see us. So that's what caught us attention again. That's the lady on the left there was the one getting all the photos taken of her earlier. Very, very popular with the crowd here.
And also she was used as a ring girl during the QIC Fun Cups. But back to the point at hand.
Fun Cups. I like the sound of that.
We got 3 vs 3.
Fun Cups.
Yeah.
FUNCUPS. What are you talking about?
Okay.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I speak English, bro. I'm kidding.
Fun tournaments.
What?
Right?
Okay, whatever. Anyway, what was it? Oh, yeah. I feel like maybe a couple of them. Edison, do you think a couple of these kids could have nerve issues? They could be nervous?
I feel they lose their courage.
I'm feeling nervous right now. I'm sure they're going to feel nervous.
I mean, look at it this way. If they finish it in 3rd prize, it's not... how do I say this? Yeah, they lose their shot at World Finals, but I mean, at the same time, they walk away with a little bit of money in their pockets. They get to tell their parents, Mom, Dad, I just won 3rd prize. I just made money. I just, you know, this is enough money to pay for a semester of university.
I think I know it. I know the secret. Horsemen need to put on their horse masks because without it, they just don't have the power. Batman wore his bat mask. Horsemen need to put their horse masks on. Maybe they'll play better. Maybe they will play better. But here is the 4th match of the first map. ELONG need one more to really push Horsemen out of this, but Horsemen don't want to be the first 4-0 of the day. Oh, it's going to be, wait a minute, we don't have time for analytics. It's going to be a middle fight again as the Horsemen YOLO into the middle yet again. And the first shot, first blood goes against Spencer, but ELONG's Fox TS is getting hit down to half HP.
It looks like this might actually be the best start that Horsemen has ever had as they do knock out ELONG's Fox TS. The scouting tank not far behind is going to be a reflection on that hit list, but in exchange we will see
this is it. Reflection go down. Both the tier 7s are down. They've only lost one tank. Their tier 7 is down to one shot, but they're doing a great job this time. Horsemen are not going to be 4-0. They want this. They see the blood. They're stampeding, but they have to be careful. They can overplay here. They've got to be careful.
That is absolutely right. In fact, they actually just got this turnaround a little bit on their heads. As we can see, it is still 4 versus 3, but combined, their HP is a little bit less than that of ELONG. So they have to coordinate fire perfectly and make sure their position
but they're letting Black
perfect.
Reload. They didn't have auto loaders. They just let Black completely unload into them, and then they just backed off. But they are on the defensive, and they've remembered this. This is actually, I'm proud of them. They've remembered this time. They're on the defense, and they've gone, you know what, we won that engagement. We've got 4 tanks against 3. Let's just back off and play defensive like we have to do. However, it looks like ELONG did not expect them to fall back to this position, as it's going to be 2 versus 4. Will Black get a line of fire from there?
Peluso is absolutely exposed there. I'm surprised he has not been spotted and lit up first.
Oh, and Nice goes down to one more hit, and they get him out.
There it is.
He goes down. This is it. The crowd goes nuts as Horsemen are actually on the verge of picking up their first victory against ELONG. No 4-0s today. Horsemen are saying, you know what? No more horsing around. Let's get a victory.
Yeah. I mean, to put it in words for you guys, there have been very, very few cheers from the crowd because everyone is rooting for that Taiwan team. They want their hometown heroes to win this, and it looks like they might just get a single game to end this map if they play their cards right.
Yeah, Black scored 4 shots, though you can't underestimate him. He still has a good chance to bring this back. I would not rank ELONG out of this, but they are taking some long. GRB is taking quite a bit of damage, but they get both the other side. However, 4 shots in the autoloader, plus the RU is not enough to kill everything there on the Horsemen, but it can definitely sway the battle a little.
Dude, now we're just seeing Black backpedal for the time being. He didn't fire one of his 4 remaining shells, but at the same time, he has been spotted. He has to rotate, and now it looks like they're going to try and capitalize on ELONG's GRB going to the high ground there and trying to get a snipe. Is he still in that signature T49? Is he?
He's in the RU,
okay.
ELONG's GRB. He's in an RU.
If I'm not mistaken, I've seen him play the T49 before frequently.
No T49s on this map, man.
Not this game.
Yeah, but it's map is not.
Oh, Black gets caught out. He gets one shot into the rear. He's running through the destructible terrain. He should have kind of avoided that, used it as a buffer. But, shot just to his right.
Massive snipe.
Another shot comes in. No, but ELONG's GRB is covering him, you know. But, you know, Horsemen, don't forget, you're defending. You don't have to chase these guys down.
Yeah.
You win if they can fail to attack you.
Exactly.
So don't overextend. Don't split up. Just wait for them to come back at you.
And now it looks like that wait is about to come to an end. Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? He's been spotted. He's getting shot at, but no connections.
Yeah, they don't want to trap him.
No, they don't want to chase him. That's a good thing they're not chasing him. That's absolutely last thing Horsemen need to do.
Whoa!
Oh,
man.
For this reason, they cannot chase him because they're not going to get GRB at the top there.
Exactly.
They won't get him. Right, so Horsemen need to stay back. How can ELONG succeed in this situation? Do you have any ideas? Any ideas at all?
Let me think about that. But on such scenario, you know, ELONG have to doing something like sniper as an M13 and use the RU-25 to capture and attract someone up. You know, if they just stand here, they're just gonna lose like this
that's gonna be nice. So he's gonna go to the left-hand side. Oh no, he's not. He's just gonna go up and take a shot. Will he connect? No. He's not spotted. He's not spotted them.
And
yeah, they just want to find a position. If you capture, they can rush out.
Yeah,
It's very easy to snap in you.
So Black is going to go forward, and ELONG's GRB is going to be defending or covering him from the middle.
Yep.
But if the Horsemen discover this, then they're going to be able to back off pretty quickly. Oh, a charge over to Black.
Wow.
Did they spot Black?
Can
Yes,
you-
they did.
yes, they did.
Black
No, I
is
don't think so.
going to be over.
What's going on here?
There we go.
Whoa!
Oh, a track
That was a
shot.
track
Okay.
shot, non-pen. But there it is. The crowd goes wild once again. As we do have, of course, Horsemen bringing it back just a little bit.
All right,
It's all
so
to-
that's what they needed to do. As soon as they saw Black, they just charged over, took him out, and sat back. It's exactly what Horsemen needed to do. And now GRB just needs to YOLO at them, really. I feel that this guy is going to go for the cap, but he's going to die. He's going to get spotted, and that's the end of that. What went right for Horsemen this time?
Okay. On this time, actually, I think the problem is from ELONG. Horsemen also still using the Russian strategy, but ELONG this time they split it to two parts.
Yeah.
And when they engage, Horsemen found only 3 tanks on the front. They just rush out and kill you. That's it. When you shoot him from a long distance, you got a lower rate to hit. They are closer, so that's it. They got a much better
Their
hit rate
focus
here.
fire was much better. Yeah,
Yep.
they managed to nuke down 3 tanks pretty quickly.
With 50 seconds remaining on the clock, I think if every shot fired by GRB was a connection, then he still wouldn't have enough time to kill all 3 members of Horsemen. But unless they were ammo rackets. Nice 502 from 2 shots.
And he dives in the cover, but I think it's too little too late. He's just dodging these shots like he's in the Matrix. 216 HP versus 1400. It's got to be some miracle work to get out of that, but there you go. 3-1 to Horsemen. GG. They did not go 4-0. Good. 3-1, and they're not that far behind. It would be embarrassing, to say the least, if it was 4-0 for the first time tonight.
Yeah, but on this side they didn't make him really nice strategy this time. But I think problem is still on the ELONG, but on the reaction on the first moment, it's doing okay.
Personally, I just wanted to interject, and I just want to say that I'm not trying to sound like a negative Nancy, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this go either way. I wouldn't be surprised now to see Horsemen go from 3-1 now to 3-4, or excuse me, 3-5, or to see 4-4 and then take things into a stalemate. We've seen just about everything now at WGL after Season 3 for APAC-ASIA. Every scenario you can imagine, 5-0, 5-1, 4-4, and then the stalemate game with Horsemen beating Charlotte Tiger, for example. I'm not trying to sound like the negative guy, but I feel like, how do I say this? It would be exciting to see that, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that it wouldn't be exciting, but what's the possibilities here? Looking at the performance, Horsemen have literally charged forward. W stuck down every single battle, and they've won one. I mean, I guess just keep forcing it. You're going to eventually win one, but we're going to change the maps now, and so we're going to take a tiny little break, and we'll be back very shortly with map number 2. It's currently 3-1 to ELONG against Horsemen. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. We are back for map number 2. Steps again. We've seen this map every single time, but that doesn't mean it's a bad map. That means it's a popular map, and we are almost ready to go. Now, Horsemen 3-1 again. Last time they did in this situation ended up as a 5-1 against Arete. They have literally driven at the enemy with no regard to their own safety. Every single battle. Are we going to see a change in tactics, or are we going to keep seeing this, although not very effective, but incredibly entertaining form of battling from Horsemen?
I think they're going to take more reserve strategy this time, if they are on the defensive side. But if they are forced to assault, maybe they still have to use more light tank, and if they got a chance, they can rush out. But ELONG is not a team like that easy for you guys to rush. So, we saw that before.
Yeah, I can only feel that rushing can work like as a pocket strat, or as like you're playing 8 battles and you've not rushed once, and then you rush and it's just not expected. But if you rush every single time, it's not exactly a surprise. You not think that rushing 4 times in a row is a bad thing?
Yeah. They're gonna stay separate and wait.
It yielded success for them previously. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, they've done this all season long.
Well, I wouldn't say all season long, but versus ELONG, they thought to themselves, well, if we don't do this and we can't beat them straight up, then there maybe isn't a chance for them to beat them at all. And in some cases, it worked previously, but the meta was different at that point. There were no T-54s.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we see this beautiful stage. Actually, I really like this stage here. As these, so I get distracted easily. This beautiful stage is setting the stage, for their next battle. Yeah, here we go. Banana. Alrighty then, so we are in the next map, and we saw a lot of defensive tactics heading out either to the east to defend or flanking from the north. We're going to see what ELONG decides to do, as the Horsemen have to attack, and that's not a good situation to be in. They have only one loss more they can do. They've got to win both of these really to stand a chance, I think.
Okay.
I'm with you on that all the way. All right, so let's see just what direction they are headed out in right now, as it is a little bit confusing to tell. Okay, there we go.
Yep. Okay.
So no rush.
No
more rush.
Do you
That's
see
it.
that?
Already.
They choose a T-32. That means they're gonna push.
Wait. They picked the T-32 in the previous battle, and they also rushed at the enemy.
Yeah,
oh,
but
man.
Here we go. Gorilla is down already below half HP. Their scout moves forward, gets punished for it.
And he's going commando there. I also wanted to point out, like, I thought this could have been a delayed rush, but instead, it's quite the opposite. We got Gorilla going YOLO out here just a little bit. But in the same regards, we actually see Guanren in a lot of trouble, as he's just about to fall in exchange for a tier 7.
That's not so bad, but also Fulu Sodi. I can't read it from this distance.
Fuluso Deso.
Yeah, he has also taken a couple of hits, so that's not necessarily that good for the Horsemen, but it's not awful. They're not at such a disadvantage just yet.
All right. Well, no one's gone, but at the same time,
What do you think of this withdrawal, Edison?
because they choose a T-32, that means they want to use a heavy tank as a shield in the front side, and most of the tank, not my old tank on the
Spencer just sacrificed.
What?
That was literally for nothing. I cannot figure out what that was for. It was not good. Did I just hear the Chinese caster say YOLO? Because I really did think they just said that.
I think so. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they adapted it from English. But there goes Gorilla, and now this is a 5 versus 6.
But the cap pressure is on. It's 26 seconds, but Reflection is right there. This is not going well for Horseman. Reflection's able to reset at any point. He's still at max HP. They cannot do the damage. There we go.
Yeah, he finally took a hit. He was mostly scratchless for the most part, and now we've only got one shot left on Fuluso Desu, and now he is gone from this game. And now it looks like Rex might be next on the hit list. He's at 32 HP, gone.
1390s to completely wreck face in the circle of death.
And now this game is all but lost. This 1 point. This basically means afterwards it's going to be match point. Horsemen cannot lose a single game afterwards.
They want these horse sandwiches. They keep doing it. Absolutely trying to fit these guys between two tanks. It happened again.
Yep. Do you see the difference between the Arate and Horsemen when they go to the east part?
Yes.
First, Arate, they know when do they go to the east part, they know your enemy on the north. So when they rush in, they know, okay, we got a valid advantage. Even you stand here, I'm gonna kill you first. So on that moment, ELONG move out. They're trying to take a more safe position. But Arate just capture and force you guys come back. They use more T-54 and got an advantage there. But Horsemen, they didn't do anything, never even anything on the north. So they just rush in. Before they rush in, they got a lot of punishment there. They didn't clean the sniper on the east part. That's the main problem there.
Yeah, I think Horseman's main issue, if we want to really highlight it, is lack of tactics. Lack of structure, lack of reading the map. It's like they're just 7 guys who are going in and fighting at a decent standard, and occasionally gets some of the advantage. But tactically and maneuverability, Breaker, they're just not doing well, are they?
They are not. I mean, it really seems like they're kind of almost like lambs to the slaughter now, or I guess in some regards what you could call lemmings rushing
they're deflated. I think that's easy to say. Look at their faces right there. They are morale down in the dirt. Okay, we've lost today. Let's think about tomorrow. It look to me, it's a 1,000-yard stare. It's just like we're done for. Tomorrow we need to work on it, and
and this little tanker is saying he's just waving at his older brother in the booth. I'm kidding. I don't know who this little kid is, but he looks like he's going to grow up to be a really strong tanker one of those days.
He brightened up as soon as he saw himself on the screen. But yeah, I don't know. Keeping on topic, the Horsemen, I think that's what they need to do. They need to get their mind out of today and focus on tomorrow. It looks like that's already what they've done. They can't get too much. They can't get too down. If they fight every step of the way today, they might not be able to do it. But ELONG comfortable. They're in a really good position, 4-1 up.
Yeah, and it's a chance for Horsemen to learn something here. They saw the Arate use same strategy, but they cannot copy that because they don't know how to really finish the capturing or attract enemy. How to make it a damage is totally different, I think.
Yeah. I wish I could see the Horsemen's booth right now. Actually, I wish I could see them during the battle, because I can only imagine they're screaming at each other. But some of them actually left the room.
This match?
Okay, so we have a report about why they left. They actually have problems with their ping. They claim they're having some problems, and they want to restart and fight for this last point.
Actually, what I was informed of in my ear was there's actually some kind of a local hardware issue with one of the PCs. So they've been given permission to restart their PCs. That's why we had one of the referees running in there with glasses on, because he's a super technico guy. I'm kidding. But some of these computers are about 2, 3, 4 years old in terms of hardware. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that they're behind in this regards, or they're behind in that regards, and they cause some kind of a technical hiccup. At any rate, it's going to take them a few minutes to get restarted, get their their vocal communication equipment going, as well as their software, raid call, Skype, whatever have you. And of course, World of Tanks launched itself. They're not running on solid state drives or anything of that nature.
Well, we have a small break because of this. We see that most of Horsemen are now out of the training room. They're obviously needing just a little bit of time. This is the final battle. This actually is the final match point. If they lose one more time, you can see that the battle tomorrow will take place with either Horsemen. Actually, it will definitely be Horsemen versus ELONG. Whether Horsemen is the home team or away team will be decided very shortly. And then whoever wins out of those two tomorrow, first thing, will play against Arete in the finals for their final chance. So it's a round-robin first day, second day, single elimination knockout. So tomorrow will be Arete playing the winner of these two teams again, which gives Horsemen one last chance to rest up and figure out what on earth went wrong today.
I know a lot of people might be watching the stream and thinking, well, these guys are from Taiwan. They've had the easiest time getting here, easy peasy lemon squeezy. They live in the country. It's not necessarily so. I mean, we're talking about Taiwan looks small on paper, but when we're talking about players coming from different cities, Tainan, Kaohsiung, Taichung, etc., we're talking about places that are comparable in distance, either from, say, let me think, for example, Rhode Island to New York. That's relatively short distance, maybe an hour or two drive. And then you've got the distance, say, between the travel time that's between Virginia and South Carolina.
But they can just jump in a car and drive across in a couple of hours.
From Taichung.
If they leave in the morning, they're going to be there by the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they've got a 12-hour flight or anything like that, like the Americans have when they come to Poland. Like, they have a massive disadvantage there.
Well, I just wanted to say from Kaohsiung to this place, my girlfriend's hometown, it's about an 8-hour bus ride. But
that's a bus.
Yeah, it depends on what you can afford, though. Can you afford to take the high-speed rail, or do you have to spend money on the bus ride?
I assume they were invited, so they get free transportation.
Okay.
Well, professional players come to professional sports events. They get invitations. They get paid transportation and accommodation. They're looked after. Food, accommodation is all. If you get to this point in your career in esports, everything's taken care of. You come to these events and you don't have to worry about spending money.
That is true. That is true. That is an anti-estimation by my ears. Typically, when people think of travel fees, they think of plane tickets. They don't think of train rides or anything like that.
Why not? Is it not traveling?
I'm sorry.
I know that you know Mandarin, Chinese, and English, but did you just forget the word travel, what it means? Traveling from point A to B, you got no excuse. Just bow your head.
You're
and
right.
bow your head and
I
shake.
should.
That's it.
But to be fair, for every offline event that I've traveled to, I've been on planes to get to those offline events, not trains. Make sense?
Yes, of course. But if you're a home city, then everything's fine. Okay, so it looks like they are ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. We have the tanks in the trading room. Most of them are getting readied up. The Horsemen are told to get their acting gear, get quicker. They need to ready up and get into this battle because it could be the last one. It's match point. Horsemen could get taken out here, or they're on a very long route up. So we either have another hour ahead of us or 10 minutes. It really depends. Edison, my friend, you haven't talked in like 5 minutes. Tell us your thoughts. You are clearly concerned about something.
Yeah, I think if the Horsemen, if they really got a chance to win this matchup, not whole matchup, they still have time, because they're gonna fight to ELONG tomorrow again, so they have to take experience here. Whatever they do, they have to know why they fail and know how they successful on this. Don't just rush out 1, 2, 3 times, and that looks like you can't figure out anything there. That's a waste time.
Yeah, it really feels like they're not trying today. It feels like they're just pressing W and forgetting about it. It really does seem that way. Like, am I being unfair? Because that's really what it feels like. Arete and ELONG, we were talking about the way they're repositioning, the way they're reacting with their scouting reports. They're using their tanks intelligently. We're not seeing that with Horsemen. They're just driving forward, seeing an enemy and charging.
Yeah, maybe they want to, use the same strategy as Arete, but, they didn't figure out why Arete used such a strategy, They're just trying to copy, like moving, they go rush to the side where they go through, but they forget the rule, how to use a strategy, and why they use that way. Yeah. So when a scenario is different, they cannot react about that because they don't know why they use such strategy.
Yeah, I can't disagree. It does feel like Horsemen are in that situation where they're not able to make the decisions correctly. They're not using their scatter reports, and we've seen these ladies like 5 times in a row now. I think the cameraman got a bit stuck.
You know what's fair? You know what's not fair? They can't see us.
Not once. Not once. I'm sure the audience prefers the ladies, but we've seen a lot of the same ones. A lot of the same ones.
Yeah, and another thing here, ELONG start to use the T-54.
Oh, really?
They use 3 on last match, and this one. That means they start to know there's something different.
Yeah, but they should have practiced this before the tournament. It kind of feels like they're not prepared. It feels like all the other teams were practicing for the last month, and Horsemen were not. That's kind of what it feels like right now.
Yeah, and even on the Prokhonovka, on the second match, the Horsemen almost win that. So they start to know that's something different, different become the 2 update right now.
Right. I think they're ready to go.
Okay.
There we are.
30 seconds left. We are coming into the
steps.
possible final battle here, and we are going to go into the steps. And absolutely, Horsemen have to win.
Come on, production crew. We know you like looking at the girls, but right now we need to look at tanks. On topic. On focus.
The cameramen are worse than us. Absolutely.
There we go.
Here we go. Tanks, ELONG, defending. Horsemen attacking. Horsemen are 1 defeat away from being last place on day 1 of the round robin phase. Who's going to win? Throw your votes down now. Are Horsemen going to YOLO rush again, or are they going to play a bit smarter? Edison, what do you think?
Yeah, but I think the Horsemen, they should try to do something different here because they're going to fight the ELONG tomorrow morning. And the ELONG use their pretty standard strategy. They're going to rush to West Part here. So if Horsemen take a chance, maybe. But no. ELONG trying to rush out. They're trying to fast to
Horsemen.
Here we go. It's another banana fight as everything goes down. Gorilla takes a hit to the face.
The best offense is a great defense. ELONG trying to live up to that saying, but it looks like Reflection might just be an anti-saying, if you will.
Well,
not living up to
Reflection
that.
of Gorilla down to 1 HP, and I believe you mean a great defense is a great offense, not the other way around. But we have everyone dying here, absolutely all over the place. I can't see what's going on. Fox goes down, Reflection's gone down, and so if 2 from Horsemen is pretty even going. The HP is slightly in the favor of Horsemen though, as they focus their fire really well. It seems like a roll of the dice where the Horsemen get on top of things or not, and right now they are pushing ahead. Come on, Horsemen.
This is looking fantastic for our Taiwanese Titans, the underdogs in this matchup, and now it looks like they're going to seal out ELONG, CN. Nice CN there. He just lost 646 before falling, and now Black is backpedaling, actually chasing.
You've got to be careful because Spencer's on 1, maybe 2 shots. He's lucky if he gets him, but Black's reloading. He in fact could go down before he reloads. He gets 1 shot against Spencer goes down. That is exactly what they needed. But now they've got 2 tanks on 1 shot, 1 at half HP, 1 near max. They've only got a tier 6 and Nightmare, but Nightmare's a 1 shot. This looks like Horsemen have actually brought it back.
Just a little bit. This isn't the first time that they've done it. The question is, can they just continuously win the next 3 games in a row? Excuse me, the next 2 games after
Edison
this one.
seems to think they can.
Yeah, but this one is not finished yet. No.
Well,
Indeed.
4 minutes 45. The HP difference 1,649 to 590.
Don't trust
like
them. Just capture. They can win this one.
Yeah, well, Horsemen are on the offensive. We think they've won this.
Yeah, they just capture.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. Just
But
capture.
they are chasing them.
Right now,
I don't mind them chasing. They got 4.5 minutes, my friend. This guy has to run like the best runner in the world, a sprinter. I'm actually worried about those 2 1-shots. Oh, first shot goes out. It does connect on both players, but only 2 more shots needs to go down, but he's firing. Crossfire from Horseman takes him down to 1, maybe 2 shot if he's lucky. What a power slide. Good shooting, though.
Whoa.
Not enough.
so
Horseman,
This
2,
time,
4.
this time the Horsemen doing really perfect focus fire. But they didn't do that on the Pokonovka.
okay.
Yeah, they are just fighting together, This time, both team rush, but Horsemen, doing better foxfire here.
Yes, I don't disagree. In fact, it's hard to hear now. The crowd is actually really happy that Horsemen have pulled yet another game.
Even with those soundproof headphones on and the booths surrounding them, I think they could just feel the roar of the crowd as
Rumble
they took.
on the table.
Yeah, exactly. They took this game, and I think this is going to give them a moral boost. They're just like, I feel like a part of them might feel like, okay, I just don't care anymore. Let's just do our best and see how we do it from now on.
Their morale must be flying high compared to what it was just 10 seconds ago when they first were going into that battle going, oh, we lose this, we're out. We're down to last place. We have to play tomorrow from last seed. And then they go and get a win. I think it was a little bit of cockiness from ELONG. They just went, you know what, let's just rush at them, beat them in a straight fight. It didn't work, though.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we're just waiting for the moment, and of course,
God.
there we go. We see one. Yeah, she was sleeping just a moment ago,
She's
then
like,
she
oh,
woke
really?
up.
Again?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's their jobs to look pretty, but you know what else would look pretty?
It's our job to be pretty too.
Yeah, it is. We got makeup on, but at the same time, you know what else would look really pretty?
What's that?
If we were to see this end with a tiebreaker. Of course, we'll be here until about. We'll be here until 9 o'clock at night if it ends with a tiebreaker.
There goes my shopping.
It's all right. It's all right. I love that though.
Actually, if you've never been to Taiwan, they've got great computer marts. We were there yesterday or the day before, and I wasn't able to buy anything because my credit card was like, oh, I didn't realize you went to Taiwan, so I blocked it. Oh, thanks, credit card company.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I wasn't able to buy anything, but I wanted to buy a whole new computer. Wasn't going to go down. NVIDIA GTX 980.
Yeah.
Of course. I wanted to take that home with me, but they said no. Computer said no.
GTX 980, that's kind of overkill. I got the...
It plays Water Tanks at 120 FPS on max settings. That's why I want it.
All right.
120?
120. Yeah. Can you get Water Tanks on max settings running that? Even with recording software going, you get over 60.
Interesting.
So that's why I want that card, so I can make some beautiful water tanks videos. Yeah. Actually, so I'm not biased. Obviously, you guys in the audience, what do you prefer? Do you prefer AMD or NVIDIA? Just let's start a flame war right there in the Twitch chat before the next battle begins, as Horsemen are now defending. Now, can they do, as Breaker says, a great defense is a great offense? Will they do that, or will they actually sit back and try and defend? I don't know. You don't know, but we're about to find out. 8 seconds till the battle begins. Edison, take us through.
Okay, ELONG this time they choose 2 M13, 1 RU-25 and 3 T-54. They start to using the T-54 right now. They start to know, okay, this 10 really got a really nice DPN advantage, but this time they rush to south. Okay, normally in the ELONG's old strategy, they always rush to northwest first. After that, they flank into the south side. It's pretty similar to our 10, but for the Horsemen, this time they use a T-32 to defend best.
Well, I've never seen them use a good T-32 well, so this will be their first victory using a T-32 if they get it. So
Okay. They use a T-32 trying to like defend or trying to reset a capture point. So I bet the T-32 gonna stand near the base this time. They won't rush out. If they rush out, it's quite,
Ouch!
Yeah.
Focus fire, out of position for half a second, kaboom. You blinked, you missed it.
He just, I just wanted to highlight, he was furthest to the south, and I feel like with the present positioning, or at least the positioning that we saw from Horsemen at that moment, if we were to just see a straight-up rush from the south from ELONG, then they could have just virtually encompassed everything there from Horsemen.
But some amazing shooters. Fox TS is getting focus, but he gets away.
Yeah.
Great job evening things out, Horsemen.
Yeah, this time they start to know how to use a T-54. They show up torrent. It's just trying to shoot enemy. No, don't just rush out. Show up your
they're
torrent.
defending. It's good. It looks like Horsemen actually are making a good attempt at trying to defend and not just rushing out there.
Yeah.
I guess they fixed their W keys. That's why they needed to reset the computers. They needed to reset the computers so that they could actually stop just going forward. Colin gets shot in the ass though. He survives, not set on fire.
Yeah, and this time, I recommend it, but they cannot hear me. They should rush out this time to kill north side.
You should rush north.
Indeed.
Yeah, but they got ELONG got a couple sniper on the
Well,
south
they
side.
learned last time, didn't they? They did this against Arete, the first map they lost. Will they do it again? I think they will. If they go north right now with the whole team, they've won this. They're going to isolate those 3 that are doing the cap, and they can win this. And they are preparing. I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, but they don't know ELONG is coming right now.
There we go.
Oh my God!
Anyway, T-32 is getting whacked though. They left him behind. He's out of position, and that's a massive misplay from Horsemen as they leave him to die. He just needs to hold them back a bit more. That player there, who was it? Reflections.
Guanren's been discovered.
Guanren.
Yeah, that's a massive mistake by him. He should not have exchanged his HP so early on, as the rest of the Horsemen have not been able to pick up a kill in exchange. So they have lost their HP advantage. They're now 500 behind. It's not the end of the world, but they do need to do... Oh, wait a minute. ELONG have completely exchanged which cap they're putting pressure on. Horsemen are confused. They're rushing back now with 20 seconds on the clock. I think they're in a lot of trouble here.
I couldn't say it better myself, actually, right now, Dorch. These guys, they're rushing in, they're trying to get the capture reset, but many of them are low HP. As we have just seen, Horsemen did get a pick, ELONG just got a pick off on Horsemen.
Here we are, they're running interference. 5 seconds to go. Can Spencer make it? 4, 3, 2, 1. No, he misses. That's it. It's over.
Is it?
They failed.
It is.
Horsemen didn't get back in time.
Is this bugged?
That's it.
No, it's
That's
over.
out.
Okay,
They've done it. Horsemen were too slow back. What a bait play by ELONG. They went to the north cap. They managed to get Horsemen to commit to the north like they did last time. I think that was a beautiful play by ELONG. They watched the previous battle. They knew exactly how that Horsemen would respond to that and totally outplayed them. What a smart play there by ELONG. Absolutely fantastic.
But on last match, they already know some sniper on the south side. They know someone capturing. They just rush out, don't waiting for the T-32, just rush out, kill the south side. No, north side.
Yeah.
They cannot win this one, but they give the ELONG ELONG time. They give the ELONG like 15 seconds to shift their tanks from south to north.
Yeah.
That's why they fail on this one. If they do this reaction, like 10 seconds earlier, they're gonna win this one quite easy. I have to say that, but they still lack of the experience on this one. I have to say.
All right, so we are at the end of day one. It's been an absolute pleasure. These battles have been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
A lot of YOLOs, pretty epic ones too. A bit of mess and a bit of strategic play. I've been incredibly impressed by Arete's calm, strategic performance. ELONG have slipped into the Horseman style occasionally and have messed up. And also succeeded. They once ripped apart Arete because Arete got a bit nervous with the massive rush in. Horsemen, disappointing. Honestly, a bit disappointing. Their variety of tactics is very small. It's like they've got two tactics, rush or defend. And even in their defend, it's like hold back, snipe, and then as soon as they see an opportunity, rush. That's all that.
Yeah, they can attack really nice timing. When they should rush, they didn't do that. When they shouldn't do that, why they do that? No.
All right, so closing words, Ricker?
Tomorrow, I hope, I kind of wish, for the sake of everyone here that showed up to the live event, I really do hope that we have stronger performance coming from Horsemen tomorrow. Not necessarily winning their first match against ELONG tomorrow.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
Stronger performance. I mean, they did pick up 2 wins
yeah.
instead of 1 against Arete, but that's 3 battle victories in 2 sets. Not the best result you could ask for. Even ELONG versus Arete got more in that for both of them. It was 3-5, wasn't it? So
it was.
It's a case of Horsemen need to really sleep tonight, sleep well, eat some good food, and just calm down, get better tactics. I don't know how to suggest.
Yeah.
Their captain is letting them down.
Yeah, but they got really new captain this year, so that's the first time they're on the stage. First time.
Well,
ever.
they're not doing so bad. If this
is
is their first time on the stage in an offline event, then they're not doing so bad. But that's it from us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Your professional insight will be back tomorrow, Edison99. You got any social media people can follow you on, or do you not do that stuff?
actually, I didn't do that,
Okay, well, tell everyone where you're doing. You don't do that at all, or you've got some?
What's that?
Social media. Well, tell your audience your social media, if you've got any.
Okay, normally I didn't do those media too, so
okay.
normally I only stay on with my client, so I didn't do something like Facebook fans or something like that.
Okay, Breaker.
Right. That's facebook.com/bingesc2, that's BINGESC2, or twitter.com/breakersc2. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to bring things to a wrap.
Yeah, exactly. That's the end of the show. We have your great matches for you tomorrow. We have Horsemen versus ELONG #2, and whoever wins of that against Arete. I'm Dorjan, and I bid you good night, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye.